Good evening, folks. Welcome back to The View for the second podcast of the week, the preview to the Leeds United Bristol City game on Monday. Yes, there are still games left to play. No, the season's not over just yet, even though it felt like it this week. Delighted to be joined by Paul from the Leeds Therapy and also joined by Tom from the Legends 11 to talk a little bit about the Leeds Legends game coming up on the 10th of May. We're going to do that straight out of the gate at the start, and then myself and Paul will get stuck into a little bit of the Farke talk around what's been going on. There is a poll on the channel as well. You can get stuck into that if you want to, and then we'll get into the preview ahead of the Bristol City game. We'll try and get the Farke stuff out of the way as much as we possibly can. Sorry, I'm getting held up for my punctuality. I was 2 minutes late. I apologize. Sorry, Lee. We'll sort it out for next time. We'll check in first, and we'll start with Paul. Paul, how are you, mate? How's things?
I'm good, tired, frustrated because people get wound up about stuff that isn't true. Or potentially isn't true. But other than that, I'm absolutely fine. Like I said to you before, it's that weird, almost limbo period, isn't it, at this moment in time? We've done like the most important thing, but it's kind of weird limbo, but we've got a job to do. 2 more games left to go, and we need to make sure that we just polish off the season well. Make sure we polish it turns into a diamond, and not that we polish it and it turns into a turd. So that's where I'm at.
There's always that, isn't there? Tom, how have you been after the weekend, mate?
Well, actually fairly relaxed now since it's all over. As they say, we got what we set out for, promotion. But I want to go up as champions. Yeah. Get to 100 points and be champions. You know, and we're capable of doing it. Like, we blew Stoke out of the water in the first 20 minutes on Monday. Couldn't believe it. I was half expecting it to be a nervy game for the first 50 minutes. But thankfully we put them to the sword and destroyed them.
Yeah.
You know. And Billy Jones, 4 goals was a bonus.
Well, yeah, I mean, he went a long way to fixing the 9 games without a goal and gets himself very close to winning the Golden Boot this year, but a phenomenal performance by him. But yeah, it all clicked on the day. We've been waiting for Leeds to absolutely take somebody apart for 2 years. And I mean, outside the Norwich game in the playoffs, this is probably the first time we've seen full foot on the gas, Leeds in 5th gear. Actually, I don't even think they got into 5th gear. I still think there was a couple of levels to that as well. But yeah, phenomenal performance and great to see the scenes at Ellen Road afterwards and being able to celebrate with the fans and having a full Ellen Road on Monday night now again to just soak it all up and enjoy the last 2 games, Tom.
Well, like the beauty of Leeds getting promoted now for the Legends match coming up, it should kick on and people should come out and rejoice and celebrate Leeds getting promotion with all the Legends that are going to be in the Carlisle grounds. Yeah. You know, well, really set it up.
Well, yeah, it's a great segue, Tom. I love that, mate. Thanks for that. Yeah. Brings us straight into talking about it. So, as you know, I've been talking about it on the channel for quite some time now, but we're getting really, really close to the actual moment of when this is going to happen. The Legends 11 presents Leeds United Legends versus the Borough Legends, who are a group of guys from, I would say, the south side of Dublin in towards Wicklow area there, St. Joseph's Boys area, if you're familiar with the lads around Dublin. And what's going to be a really, really good occasion. Leeds coming back to Ireland. They haven't been here in a while. It's a chance to see some of the older players that have moved on in their careers to do other things, but to see them back in a Leeds United shirt is a fantastic thing, and some nice players coming out, Tom. But I wanted to give you the floor to give us the update on what we need to know about this coming into it.
Well, as we all know, the Borough Legends was set up in 2014. So our first match was actually against Liverpool this weekend in 2015. So we're 10 years actually going, and we've actually raised a substantial amount of money for local charities. Mainly men's mental health was the original thing. But this time now we're doing it for the first manager of the Borough Legends, Tony McGurk, who had a serious stroke there last year. And we're just helping him to get things ready for his recuperation, which he's doing brilliant, to be fair to him. So we came together, and Leeds was something that we tried to do 5 years ago, but COVID got in the way. So we go with Leeds again, and with the help of Bray Wanderers, they're giving us the Carlisle grounds, use of the Carlisle grounds, which I was out there today, and the place looks amazing. I've never so looking good. So I was being given the tour of the place and what we have to do on the day of. We actually have to make sure people don't bring in fireworks and things like that because of the Astro pitch that they're set off will destroy them. So I was getting told exactly what to do. an eye opener to see how an event like this is actually raised from or run from the other side of it. But on the Leeds front, the players we have coming over are, as we know, they're managed by two real legends, Paul Reaney and Mel Sterling. We also have Ian Hart, who's a Drogheda boy, Andy Cousins of this parish, Matt Kilcallan. We have a young lad called PJ O'Connell. I don't know if you would remember him.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he went over to Leeds with Gary Kelly. He was part of the home farm team that are actually in the Guinness World Record books. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out for PJ, but he's remained loyal to Leeds. Ross McCormick, Luciano Becchio.
Is Becchio coming?
Becchio's coming. We found
That's massive.
Hang on.
Yeah. Jermaine Beckford. Unfortunately, Emma Jones is not coming with him, but we can't have.
I think she'll have this.
And there's two names that we're working on, and we're 99% certain that we have them. One is a Bradley Johnson.
Nice.
From the Simon Grayson era.
Yeah.
And another one is he played for Madrid. You can use cap who it is. Jonathan Woodgate.
Oh.
I went for a more adventurous Spanish player, thinking, Raul Bravo would make his return,
Yeah,
Woody's coming as well. That's fantastic. That's a hell of a side there, Tom.
Yeah, so and they'll be up against, like, as people think we're a bit of a ragdoll rovers outfit, but we're not. We're just a few players that we'd have that have League of Ireland experience, plus a little bit more than that. Our managers on the day is Gary Zambra, who would have been Tony's assistant when he managed us with Ballybrack in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And a young lad called Ian Morris. Maybe that rings a bell with us. Ian Morris was the manager of Shells and the manager of Waterford. He played for the Irish under-19s when Tony McGurk was the coach of the Irish under-19s. He also has about 30 underage caps and about 10 under-21 caps for Ireland. He also played for Leeds in 2005. I actually did myself, but I was embarrassed. So he's player manager for us. We also have Richie Parsons.
I know Richie.
Who doesn't? Richie scored 100 goals in the League of Ireland. He's one of the top 15 goal scorers. Maurice Farrell, in left full, played for Bray. I think he won the cup in '99 with Bray. Robbie Cole, or Robbie Coyne, sorry, I always get it wrong. Dax Keeley, Bray, Longford, and Monaghan. Marty Waters, Cabinteely, Bray, Rovers. Darren Forsyth played with Shelbourne and a couple of clubs up the north. Pat O'Brien, who also played with Bray. And there's a few others that I wrote them down and left them, of course, in work. So it was always one of them. But it's shaping up to be a fantastic day. Everything is in its place. We're inundated with people now looking for tickets, and we will be at the Camden pub on the 3rd of May, the last game of the season, and we'll have a couple of 100 tickets to flog in there for people. Plus we'll be taking cash on the day, and we'll have the scanners around the outside of the ground if people want to scan and buy their ticket online to go in, and hopefully we get a good crowd. At the moment we've about 1,400 tickets sold. So we reckon get over 2,000 to 2.5 people there, and we'll make a fantastic day. And we will also have the FA Cup there on the day. We are trying to get the championship trophy, and if Leeds win it, happy days. So people can come along, get their photograph taken with that, and for the fiver for the charity like that it's being done for. So we're doing a lot of things, and also on the day, when people come in, there's a commemorative program, which is also a fiver, and you get nothing for the fiver anyway, do we? We also have a draw for people at the ground, and there's only 2 prizes, but they're 2 great prizes. Again, €5 a ticket, and it's a draw for an iPhone and an iPad.
Oh,
2 fantastic prizes for people who attend the match. And again, all the money that's raised is going towards Tony's rehabilitation. Like, if anyone deserves it, he'll there. And Tony will be there on the day. You actually seen him there, Ger, at the Q&A.
He was looking well.
And he's going to do the tip-off. He's got...
Oh, class. That's a lovely touch.
Hobble his way back over to the dugout then. So that's basically it. And we have the gala dinner that night with we up in the Stillorgan Park Hotel, a table of 10 is £750. I think we've about 5 tables left. If anyone wants to get in touch with yourself, I'm sure you'd forward them on to me.
Okay.
And meet and greet for €20 in the Rochestown Lodge Hotel, which is not too far from the Carlisle grounds, 15-minute drive. And people come along, buy their ticket, bring anything they want to get signed, and the lads will sign it for them. And that goes on from 11:30 to 1:15, because the lads have to get out to the ground then. So it's shaping up to be a very busy day, a very entertaining day. And of course, we'll have the band, outside the band, we'll have the DJ belting out, marching on together out in the Carlisle.
Nice. Yeah, I love this, mate.
This
is going to be really exciting.
I hope I'll see you there, Jer.
I'm definitely there. I mean, tickets bought, and I'll have 2 tickets bought. I will 100% be there, Tom. I can't wait to go and see you.
Yeah. Well, you see me, I've been to play 5 minutes, but the doctor said I'm not to play. He's nothing wrong with me medically. You see me play football one day and said I was shite, so I'm not allowed to. So he says,
Love that.
So
nice.
if I can sneak past the wife who'll be out there, I'm going to be past 5 minutes and get in it.
Yeah, just don't tell her.
No, when I'm on the pitch, be too late. You see an one running across with a handbag. Get off! That'd be her. So I can't wait for it. Now, I'll be honest with you, I can't wait till the 11th of May when it's all over.
Well, that's true as well. Yeah, that is true. You can help us flog our one, Tom. We've a content creator cup on in the John Charles Community for Sport ground in Leeds on the 21st of July. Is it? It's July, isn't it? Yeah, it's July. 20th of July. So we have to flog that one after we're done with this one. So yeah, we'll move on.
100%. So again, I'd like to thank Bray Wanderers for everything they've been doing for us. Without them, it just wouldn't happen. As I said, I was out there, spent a couple of hours out there today with Gary Jones. He was showing me everything, and Val Richardson, the owner's sister, and Tony Richardson, the owner chairman of Bray. Without them, this event couldn't take place. So we owe everything, and it does help. I know that Tony, the coach in 1990 and 1999 when they won the FAI Cup, and then managed them in 2005 himself for a year. So I know he's an old Bray Wanderers, but at the same time, they don't have to do this, and they're doing it, and we really appreciate them. As with anyone who has sponsored a set of jerseys or anything like that for us, it's just been amazing, and we really appreciate it, because it's hard to do them these days. A lot of time.
Costs a lot of money.
A
lot of time. A lot of time.
But out my eyes, this one has. But I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully it's the weather shining, because there's no better place than Bray. They have a nice little bar and all out there now, a little viewing area. I have to say, the place, I've never seen it look as well. Really, really put their effort into it out there. So, well, thank you for everything you have done on the podcast. We'll be marching on together on the 3rd if you're in the Camden, and on the 10th out in Bray.
I think I might try and sneak into the Camden for the final game of the season. Yeah, it's that to do a watch along, but I think I might sneak into the Camden instead and enjoy it.
Yeah, it'd be rude not to.
It would be. I'm due a visit. Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
If we beat Bristol next Monday night, and we get a result down limit, like the others have to score 15 goals more than us.
It's unlikely. Yeah.
Burnley haven't scored that in a month, so I can't see it. So 6 points and we're champions.
Yeah. Just do what we have to do, look after itself. Folks, if you are interested in going to see the Leeds 11 versus the Borough Legends in the Carlisle ground on May 10th, the link for the tickets from Eventbright is just down below in the description. Click on that, I'll bring you straight into it. If that link for whatever reason doesn't work, just go into Eventbright.ie and then just type in Leeds United and you'll see it straight away. It's really easy to find. And as Babs McGinty has said here, Babs has said, yeah, do, if you see me and you want to have a chat, tap me on the shoulder. Let's have a chat, because I'm socially awkward, so unless you come over and tap me on the shoulder, I'm not going to, I'll hide in the corner somewhere. So, yeah, we'll do it that way.
As I said, we're accepting money on the day, we're accepting walk-ins, and the same at the meet and greet. If people haven't got they want to come up and part with €20, it's €20 into the match also, €20 for the thing. So the meet and greet, we'll take anybody's money once they're not wearing a Man United jersey.
Slightly more for them if they want to get involved. Yeah. Premium on it. Tom, thanks very much. I really appreciate you coming on. I'll keep people updated on the channel anyway up until before the game as well. And as I say, I'll be there anyway. There's a load of people coming over from the UK for it as well. So it'll be a good day. And if you don't know, Bray, it's right by the seaside. So in the middle of May, it should be lovely. So, go into the game, then have a pint by the sea. It's lovely. So hopefully we'll see loads of people there. Not a lot of tickets left. So get on that if you're interested in it. Good present for somebody who's a Leeds fan as well.
Yeah, thanks a million, lads. Appreciate it all.
Cheers, Tom. Mind yourself, mate. Take care. Bye. Bye. Right, Paul, we've got a game to talk about now as well. That's great. I'm so excited to see Luciano Becchio up front with Jermaine Beckford and Ross McCormick as well.
That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. How they've managed to pull that off is unbelievable. I might be checking flights after this, just so I can get across.
Well, give me a shout if you do. There's always a place here for you. We can sort you out with somewhere as well. So we'll get them down to the game. Yeah, be class. Right, Paul, let's get the Daniel Farke stuff out of the way. As I say, there is a poll on the chat that has a Farke in, Farke out, undecided. So wherever you are in the spectrum of things, you can click on them if you want. If you're not into the poll stuff, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's just a bit of a gauge to see where things are. My dog is chin lodged on top of my kneecap right now, looking for attention. But I said goodbye to somebody, and if I say goodbye, that means walkie time. So the dog gets excited when I say goodbye. But the stuff came out yesterday from the Daily Mail. I tried to get a bit more of an answer today. I got a bit of a snotty reply off somebody, but I won't go into that in too much details. But an interesting article, Paul, but lots of vague language used in it. But the reason it's gathered so much attention, I suppose, is the hit rate that the Daily Mail tends to have with the new ownership, although they did get a fair few bits wrong in January. But what have your thoughts been on this story coming out?
One of the things that we know, or one of the things that I think we're all quite well aware of, is that, yes, the club do give information to, or they've decided for whatever reason that the Mail is kind of like their go-to piece if they want to release information. Now, one of the things my dad always said to me with regards to news and in terms of trying to be a little bit more worldly wise is, let's take it as if we were talking about like a left and right issue for argument's sake. The best thing to do, read the stuff on the left, read the stuff on the right, you end up somewhere in the middle, and that's where you generally tend to find out where the real news is with that. Now, personally, I think that news that was brought out is a load of rubbish. I don't think it's true. Now, not the issue, but the reason why it grew legs and people ran with it unbelievably so and got very, very panicky about, and we saw what our group chat was like yesterday. It just went nuts. Because there has been that very much throughout the entire season, ever since Farke came, in all honesty, of people don't like Farke, people do like Farke, people are very much in the middle about him.
Yeah. And
unfortunately, whether we like it or not, Leeds is a massive club. It's a big club. And any piece of news about us, particularly a sensationalist headline like that, 48 hours after we've just secured promotion back to the Premier League, is going to carry and is going to move legs. But the current Bun picks it up. So the Sun, I wouldn't trust them as far as I could freaking throw them. TalkSport don't know their arse from their elbow, in my opinion.
Great.
Well, Gabby Abongla, I know nothing. It's just, take it with a pinch of salt. Yes, there's legs to it because everybody's left and right about Farke. And look, if we're brutally honest, what club isn't looking for eventualities if something should happen? What club isn't looking at in the background for things right? Well, if A doesn't happen, we need to do B, and if B doesn't happen, then maybe we come back to A. But we need.
But what's the next step? What's the evolution of where we are to the next step that we need to take?
Yeah, no, exactly. So that's where you have to think about from a truthful kind of point. But just take it. It's a way to get clicks. It's a way to get things. You just get annoyed with people. It just gets jumped on, gets legs, and just goes itself. Like I said, we all made videos on it. I made a video on it. I didn't particularly want to, but it's going to get me engagement because I want to give my view about it. And that's what happens.
Well, that's the thing. There's interesting pieces to this. Just 2 comments. Shamey is saying, Jer, hopefully the club make a definitive statement to put this one to bed. Can't do it at unnecessary drama. We just succeed with 2 games to spare. Can't we enjoy it and appreciate Daniel? And Michael is saying, Jer, I have not heard anything from the club. Now, what I will say is this, and it's probably hidden quite well within the article. There is a line in the piece and in another piece that Leeds Live got, and it said, a club source close to this has said the story is a disgrace. Now, that's about as close as you can get to the club saying, leave it. Now, lots of other people have made content who've got connections with the club, and they've all made different points and statements about it. I've kind of broken it into 3 categories, and none of them make a whole lot of sense. If it's a case that the 49ers have leaked this to the mail, right? They'll want that trophy at the end of the year. They'll want the silverware. They'll want to be able to bring that trophy to Levi Stadium in San Francisco and go, look what we're doing around the world in sport, because there's pressure on them with the Super Bowl as well. They haven't won it. Should have won it 2 years ago and they didn't. There's pressure there as well. So at least they can show as an organization we're winning things, and they get the bragging rights, and there's ego and vanity in this. Larry Nance already talked about on the Inside Ellen Road podcast today as well about having the trophy. They all want their photograph with that trophy. So why would you leak a story with 2 games to go when that hasn't been decided and you could torpedo your own ship? Why would you do that? The second version of it is it's a very good time to put stories out about Leeds United because there's a huge amount of eyes on Leeds all of a sudden. And I'll give you the example to balance this out. My news video on Monday had the most views in 24 hours of any Leeds United news video that I've done since the transfer window last summer. In 24 hours, which tells you more people were coming back to get Leeds content that haven't been watching for quite some time. The third version of it is a minority stake within the club leaked this to force a bit of pressure, which could be Red Bull. But again, that only negatively impacts their investment and the trust that the board would have behind the scenes with them. So why would you leak that either? So when you put all that together, and then the vague language that's used where it says Leeds may sack Daniel Farke or Leeds could sack Daniel Farke, and there's no source named, a lot of it for me is vague enough that you can run a story in a couple of weeks' time that says Leeds United have rolled back on their decision to sack Daniel Farke due to changes in the board. Done. You left yourself an out there. So that's where I don't get it. I do understand, and I do think there's some truth in it. I do think there's probably a split in the board around what he could possibly do in the Premier League. We all have that as well. But I think as an organization, if you're going to go and try and attract players to come to your club and attract a new manager, to put out a statement a year ago saying that the manager wasn't backed by Norwich in the Premier League and you will back him when he gets us there, to then sack him before you get there seems a little bit disingenuous and might, if you're a new manager coming in, you might not believe anything that they say to you, and it would damage trust with the fan base as well. As I say, regardless of whether you're Farke in or Farke out, looking at the whole thing logically, for me, it doesn't add up, but that doesn't mean somebody in the board isn't thinking about it. And the Jose Mourinho thing again is coincidental because he said during the year in Turkey he would be open to managing a new team in the Premier League, blah blah blah, and he's always had nice things to say about Leeds when he's talked about Leeds in the past. So you put 2 and 2 together there and you're getting 5, but that's where I think it's coming from. And we could be completely wrong. There could be loads of substance to this, and it could very much be the case. And he could be gone in 2 weeks' time. But I just think it's incredibly harsh. If the man's job was to get Leeds promoted and win a title, and if he does that, you then sack him. I'm in the middle because I genuinely don't have an emotional connection or feeling towards Daniel Farke. If he left tomorrow, I'd be okay with that. Leeds to move on. If he stayed in tomorrow, he deserves a crack at the Premier League for what he's done. I'm okay with that as well. I'm in that middle bracket where I don't love the football, but I respect the job that's being done. But a lot of people, I think, are in that space as well. So it depends. It depends. And as Steve says, don't want the Portuguese play-by, and Alan is saying you've got to give the guy a chance at least. I think give it a short leash, but I think you do give him a chance. But yeah, for me, I'm with you, Paul. I think it's probably a really good time to put a Leeds story out.
Of course it is. I'm just the same as you in terms of my channel itself. Over the last the last 14 days in particular, I mean, my channel is tiny compared to yours. I've mustered somewhere in the region of about 70,000 views in on my channel, which I'm not doing daily news content like you are. So the drive and the thirst for Leeds content and Leeds news is there. I've had more comments from other clubs on my videos in the last couple of days than anything else.
Yeah. I haven't seen a number like it in months. So you're like, there's people are coming back and are having a look, and they're not all Leeds fans.
No.
So yeah. Right then, let's push that behind us. Let's not drain the ocean out. There's absolutely no point on it. Let's talk about Bristol City game coming up, Paul, because we've a bit of stuff to talk about. We are chasing a title now at this stage. Yep. We are no longer chasing promotion. That is confirmed. We can relax a little bit. But as we come into this game, Bristol City are doing okay, but they have points to play for. They need to make sure that they can guarantee themselves a place in the playoffs. Currently, they're 4 points safe with 2 games to go, so it's not done and dusted by any stretch of the imagination. A couple of points for them in this game would definitely make sure that they were in the playoffs come the end of the regular season. Come into this game, Paul, they've defeat last time out, but they're not in a bad run coming into this. But then, so we're
Stoke.
Jesus, Stoke. Thank you. Forgettable club. So we're Stoke before they got their asses handed to them. But Paul, thoughts on the Bristol City game coming in, and where's your head at coming into this game?
Well, we in the last 18 games that we've played against Bristol City, we've won 15, drawn 3, lost 1. So we have a good record against Bristol City. However, with that being said, we did draw against them back in October, wasn't it? I think.
It was my stag, Paul. They ruined my stag with the most boring game of football I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah. I suspect that this time around, I think it could be very different. I very much think that the animal has been let out to feed now in terms of the team. You saw that against Stoke. I nearly did exactly the same as you then. You saw that
Stoke.
I know you saw that against Stoke. It was almost like just after the first goal went in, it was almost like there was just this collective sigh from the team and they were just on it. And I think Ampadu has been very forthright in his views. He wants the title.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw him after the first goal went in against Peru. When Peru scored the first goal, he was stood behind the rest of the team. And as they turned around, he stood there and just went, calm down.
Yeah.
Just calm. And then it was it. That was off. I mean, when you look at it, I was just having a quick look at Bristol's last few games. So they beat Watford 2-1. They beat West Brom 2-1. They drew 1-1 with Queen's Park Rangers. They beat Sunderland 2-1. And then they've lost in their last game 3-1 to Luton Town. So they're a bit topsy-turvy. I suppose the biggest result out of all of that is the Sunderland win in terms of for the promotion side of things. But when you look at the teams that they've played against, they've not been high on the table in terms of where they've been playing against. And I just think I'm just confident in what we do at the moment. I think we stand a very, very good chance. Plus, I want to get one over on Naki Wells because I can't stand him.
That'll always be there. Just wherever he plays for, that will always be there from the League One and early Championship days that we had to all endure when Naki Wells literally scored on cue against Leeds every time he played against us. And the amount of times he was linked with coming to Leeds as well was interesting. But yeah, it's I don't think there's any easy games. Bristol City are a decent football side. They're a decent club. Manning is a decent coach, or Sky have a love affair with Manning. They think he's the best coach in the world. So they've got a lot of good things coming into this game. I've always had a soft spot for Bristol City. I think they're a nicely run club. They're a good club. They should probably be a Premier League club by the size of Bristol, but they're not. But they're still a decent side. And as you said, they did know how to spoil the party when we played them at their place. But Ellen Road's a different place, and Ellen Road will be rocking. You just hope that they can keep the heads. Look for 5 wins in a row. I mean, what a way to finish the season after last year, Paul, when we lost 4 of our last 6 games, and this season they were going to finish it possibly with 6 wins from our last 8.
Well, the four wins that we've got now, that's the first time we've done that this season, is put 4 wins together. in a row. So that's the first time we've done that this season. So we've kind of, I feel like we've not peaked, but we're starting to peak as a team. It's weird. And this is what I've talked about this a lot with other people, and we've just been talking about what happened to Sheffield United. They had an absolute brain fart of a wobble and lost 4 in 5. We had a bit of a wobble, but what we were still doing is we were still putting points on the board, whereas other teams around us, Sheffield United, just weren't putting the points on the board. And I just hope that the last 2 games are just another 6 points for us. I've got a feeling that they will be as well, because I think they want the 100 points and I think they want the title as well.
They should do. I mean, that's the crowning glory of the whole thing. Now they'll get a second place trophy because they give them out now. But if we talk about modern football, I mean, it's one of the worst. You get a title. You get not everyone gets a medal, lads. Not everyone's getting a medal. Therefore, winning. But I think there's enough on the plate. I think Pascal Struijk, along with Ethan Ampadu, would both like to lift that trophy. I think they'd like to put themselves in the history books along with the Bielsa side that did that. They want those moments, but they want to be able to take it a step further and then celebrate it in a full stadium as well. Depending how results go on Saturday, we could be crowned champions on Saturday. I mean, if arguably we don't need to, as long as Burnley don't pick up a win, if they draw, the goal difference is there. Maybe going to the final game of the season, the points all Leeds will need away at Plymouth to be guaranteed them to be champions. So there's a lot to play for. The records are interesting home and away as well, Paul. If you look at the home form for Leeds over the last 5 home games, it's 3 wins and 2 draws, but 57 goals scored at home this season, 12 goals conceded in 22 games is incredible. But Bristol City down 14th in the away table, and they've only won 4 games on the road this year, 23 goals. It's just over a goal a game average, but they've conceded, again, about 1.2, 1.3 goals per game on average. So when you look at that head-to-head record as well, Leeds have won 8 of the last 10 matches, haven't lost any to Bristol City, 2 draw. I hate putting that one up. That's the stat that I hate putting up because it says Leeds don't lose, and then you know what's going to happen. But 8 and 2 in terms of draws, and then table-wise, Leeds are first there in 5th place, but there's a massive gap. There's nearly 30 points. There could be 30 points between them by the end of the day on Saturday. So when you look at that, any thoughts on the away form versus the home form, or what Elland Road could potentially do, good or bad, coming into the weekend?
Elland Road is going to be amazing. I mean, when I was there, obviously Easter Monday, it was incredible, absolutely incredible. But it's going to be a similar sort of atmosphere on Monday night as well. I just think it will be, because it's going to be a party atmosphere. It's going to be, everybody's going to be singing the happy and just geeing everybody on. And, statistics are there for a reason. We talk about it a lot and we say, being a stats idiot and all that and the rest of it. But statistically, we should win this game. Statistically, we definitely should win the game if we score first, because history goes, I think we are up to 80 now. Consecutive games we've scored first, we've never lost. I think we've only drawn 6, but the rest of them we've won, which is that's an absolutely bonkers statistic.
We're sacking that guy, by the way. Not this guy. Sorry, the guy we're sacking is the guy that's clocked up.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, you threw me for a second. And I was
sorry
like,
about that.
Whoa.
Not to comment. No, we're sacking the manager after clocking up a record like that.
He's 2 90-point seasons.
Yeah.
He's rebuilt a team twice. You don't have to like his football, but you can respect what he has done with this team twice. There's no other word for it, really. But like I said, I'm looking forward to this game. I think we're in good shape. I think we are in good shape.
I think so. And I think the momentum's there. You just hope that the heads were calm during the week and just go and be professional, finish this job out, because, emotions can go on. You say statistically, on paper, all that stuff. Yeah. Then you throw a big bag of emotion into the mix and things can get a bit wobbly. You never know. Jim thought he was getting sacked. No, Jim, not you. Never, Jim. Never. No, just a manager. So, yeah, but it's what the atmosphere we like on the day. But let's talk about the positive side of things. Paul, you were there after the game last week.
Yeah.
The fact that we'll be in the stadium for the game as well is going to be a little bit special, even if it does mean we go to the final day of the season. But just to have that moment in the stadium with everybody is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it'll be incredible. It was very noticeable as well, and we didn't realise until sort of after the game had finished, because we were all sat going, well, how much extra time are they playing? Nobody's put up the boards. Why haven't they put up the boards to say how much extra time we're going to be playing? And then at the end of the game, when you looked around and there was just stewards everywhere, you then went, oh, yeah, they've done that to make sure that nobody runs onto the pitch. So nobody's sat waiting for 3 minutes for everybody to run on the pitch. And I don't think they will afterwards either, but the atmosphere in that ground was just on another level. Just emotionally, there was grown men crying. There was just, you had had tears in your eyes, because you could feel it. That it just meant so much. It was, I gives me chills thinking about it now. Actually, it was just an incredible atmosphere to be involved with. It was so just incredible. You're gonna have such a good time on Monday night.
I can't wait.
I promise, mate. You're gonna. It's just, it'll be a proper party atmosphere, because everybody. We've got the promotion that's done. We can bank that. Now we just need to sing the lads along to victory. We've got a team of players that we can sit there and be immensely proud of for what they've achieved so far this season, and they just need a little bit of a push to get them over the line. Yeah. And you know, I know we're all biased, but there is no stadium like Ellen Road when it's rocking properly like it was on Easter Monday, and like it will be, I suspect, Monday night as well. It's going to be incredible.
The fact that it's a nighttime game as well means that you're likely to be. I mean, we've seen the scenes this season with last-minute goals in a full Ellen Road in the evening. We've seen Leicester last season and the noise. So I can't wait. PBDS, which stand? I'm in the John Charles West stand, I believe. And again, massive thanks to John Foxley, who sorted me out for tickets, and I'm both nervous and excited to make sure that I get to the gate and the tickets are fine and I'm all right. I'm in. Then I'm gonna go nuts. So yeah, I'm giddy excited about it. I'm like a 5-year-old. Can't wait to do it, because I got the tickets last year for Southampton. I booked my flights really early in the year and thought that'll be the day, and then
it wasn't.
So yeah, that was it. I had an overnight booked, and I was having a pint with the lads, the Art to Know Better lads in the Peacock.
Yeah.
And my mate Brian was with me, and he goes, are you going home tomorrow, or are you staying, or what are you doing? And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to book a flight right now. I'm not staying. I'm going. I'm leaving. So I left immediately and canceled my hotel and went home. So this time I'm staying overnight as well. So the hope is that now I'm back really early next morning because I've got to work. But the hope is to have a bit of a party there. But I think it'll be a party regardless. And I'm really excited to get over and to see the game. Mate Brian is coming with me as well. The two of us are really giddy and excited about this. But are you going to be there, Paul, or are you not going to this?
I am trying everything. I've got a deity. I've set fire to at least 7 goats already. I've entered competitions. I'll keep refreshing, because tickets will come available on the day. It always happens. Reason being because it's a Monday night. So yes, it's the short answer. I will be going to the game come hell or high water. You might see me swinging off the East Stand or something. God only knows, but I'll be there 100%. I've actually done now the correct thing for obviously the parade day, which is pretty much going to be on the May Bank holiday, the 5th. I've now just secured the day off, the day after the parade day as well, so I can have an extra long weekend and enjoy the Monday, which is what I want to do. Yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to get to the parade just in time, because we're back over in July again for the Content Creators Cup. Joe will kill me for getting the name wrong, and that all the time. I'll start giving people more productive and tangible information on that once we get the legend stuff out of the way. But yeah, if you're there and you're around and you want to have a chat and you see me say hello, come and say hello. I'm going to try and get some content. I don't normally record anything when I'm away, but that being the day that it is, I'll be wearing these weird sunglasses, but that's how I'm going to record stuff. So if you see me, grab me.
They're really good. They're really, really good, those Meta glasses. They're very, very clever.
And they've got an AI built into them now as well, and a speaker in the earpiece. So I really like them, but the camera's really subtle. It means I can use my hands and record everything that I want to record and not have to worry about it. So it's from my perspective.
Don't do jazz hands. Woo!
So will I be doing a vlog? Kind of, Michael, and probably won't be in Billy's, but will likely be across in the Peacock for a little bit, and then I think I'm in the Bremner Suite for a part of it. So I'll see how that part goes, but I don't know.
Do you know what suite is it? So you're in the Bremner Suite in the West Stand?
Yeah,
it's nice in there. You'll like it in there.
It's the one that everyone was kicked out of last week, so the players could come in and watch the end of the game.
Yep. Yeah, because
I'll be doing.
No.
Yeah, I thought the people were actually were still in there with the players when I saw what was behind them, but apparently that was friends and family. So yeah, it'd be great. Can the meta glasses tell me everyone's name? No, but they can tell you what you're looking at, but then you're looking at it, so you should be able to tell yourself. But if you can't, you can always ask it, and I'll tell you. I'm nervous, but very excited about this game. Enjoyed the last 2 games and have a wonderful season. Premier League. Karen, you too as well. Yeah. My dad always had a second team when he supported football, and it was always Bristol City because we have family from Bristol. So yeah, soft spot there. But yeah, Paul, I suppose we wrap it up there. Massive thanks for joining me. Do you want to throw a score prediction now for Monday night?
2-0.
2-0. Yeah, I think 3-0.
I don't think we're going to do another 6-0. Mind you, said when you watch that, we're just going to go. I just win. I don't care. 1-0, just win. I want the trophy now. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. We've done the important bit, getting up. I just want the trophy. Let's go.
Yeah, Michael's asking if you and Joe Blackburn will be doing another vlog on Monday. Hopefully.
I don't know. Oh. He caught me completely off guard in the first instance when he got me, because somebody asked me if I'd take the picture for them outside the ground, and he was like, "There's Paul being a really good little boy," and I'm just like, yeah. And then he got a shot of me in the stand before I'd done anything with my face and hair after it had been rained on. And I looked like the type of person that goes to kids' schools to sniff the bicycle seats. Do you know what I mean? Nice. It just looked terrible. And I was just like, don't.
There he is.
It was, yeah. I looked like a drowned rat, basically. It wasn't very good. But whatever. I did nearly decapitate him, so he's due that one, I suppose.
Well, there's your receipt. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Paul, what's going on your channel this week? What have you got coming up to the weekend?
I've got a preview myself coming up, my usual preview show that I do, which will be coming out either tomorrow or Saturday. And that's pretty much it up until the game. So yeah, just trying to get back to normality. I feel it's really weird at the moment. It's almost like that weird period between Christmas and New Year. It's hard to It's hard to explain, but yeah, preview show coming up, and if something else comes along, I'll drop on and make a little bit of noise on my channel like I normally do.
Sound. All right. Well, Paul's details are down below. If you want to check him out, you can, as well as the ticket link for the Leeds 11 game versus the Borough Legends in Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland on May 10th. And I'll see you there. Paul, thanks as always for joining me, and I'll see you in the morning for the news, folks. See you. Bye.